Hello students, good evening all. This is your KP sir. Today we are here to discuss about continuation of UPPSC AE hydrology. Part 14 we are discussing. Before going to start the session, I have launched a new course of environmental engineering on 29th September. So just 4-5 days are finished. So inform all of your friends to take plus subscription in Unacademy for full length course of GATE and ESC using my code KPCivil. So if you have any queries regarding plus subscription, regarding your exam preparation, regarding anything related to subject doubts, WhatsApp to my number 8985931112. I am ready to help you at any time under any circumstances. And in plus course I am teaching 140 hours of environmental, 120 hours of hydrology and irrigation. In-depth subject knowledge, full, complete in-depth subject knowledge. No one will teach this many topics in depth, and also very importantly, this will suit for any kind of exam. You can write by this course. You can write any kind of exam, GATE, IAS, state government exams, whatever it may be. So the course was started on 29th September, but no issue, you can watch already completed 4-5 days topics also. So join as early as possible, plus course in Unacademy. Okay. So now today's topic, hydrograph and unit hydrograph. Already we have completed few things related to hydrograph in the previous session. So hydrograph already we have drawn, we have considered in the last session. So just I am giving a brief introduction because it is a long time over. So just I am giving a brief introduction to hydrograph. So hydrograph is a discharge versus a time curve. Discharge of whom we are taking discharge of? Discharge of runoff. Runoff discharge versus a time curve we are providing regarding hydrograph. And very important thing, hydrograph we can differentiate it into two categories. Flood hydrograph. Flood hydrograph, direct runoff hydrograph. Hydrograph classified under two circumstances, two categories, flood hydrograph and direct runoff hydrograph. Flood hydrograph is taken as QFH, which is a sum of direct runoff value, discharge through direct runoff value, plus base flow, plus base flow. Direct runoff hydrograph is purely QDRO, discharge through direct runoff only, after subtraction of base flow from flood hydrograph. After subtraction of base flow from flood hydrograph, we'll give it as direct runoff hydrograph. The next one we'll consider, when you take direct runoff hydrograph, when you consider direct runoff hydrograph, area of direct runoff hydrograph, what we call area of direct runoff hydrograph. In the previous session also I told you, we solved some problems also related to it. Do you remember? Area of direct runoff hydrograph is equal to volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment. Volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment. The same volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment You can express now same volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment. You can express this and also using another formula. What is the another formula we can express here? Area of catchment. Area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. We'll write down this now. So volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment is equal to area of direct runoff hydrograph. The same we can express with respect to area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. So depending upon the shape of hydrograph, shape to shape it is modifying now. We have discussed about it. Shape to shape it is modifying. If you consider triangular DRH, triangular direct runoff hydrograph, if you consider, what is area of DRH we can write down? Area of DRH is equal to half into time base into peak discharge, peak of direct runoff hydrograph peak discharge. Again that is equal to, we can equalize with area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. We can make this value equalized with area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. Second one we'll consider trapezoidal DRH. Trapezoidal DRH we'll consider. Direct runoff hydrograph which is a trapezoidal. So what is volume here? Area of DRH or volume of effective rainfall. For a trapezoid, what we can write down? A plus B by 2 into peak discharge. A plus B by 2 into peak discharge. Again that is equal to area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. We can equalize it now. Volume of effective rainfall with respect to trapezoidal direct runoff hydrograph. Trapezoidal DRH. This is A, this is B. You can take it now, A plus B by 2 into peak discharge. Area of catchment into effective rainfall depth, the trapezoidal DRH. Non-uniform shape. Non-uniform direct runoff hydrograph, irregularly shaped DRH. Tell me what is the non-uniform DRH is going to have? Non-uniform DRH is going to have, this is the graph we are going to consider. So it may carry the shape like this. DRH discharge on y-axis, time on x-axis. Final formula, after we have applied trapezoidal integration, after we have taken Q0 and Qn taken out, Q0, Qn is 0, taken out. Final formula I am writing. Volume of effective rainfall is equal to area of this one. What is area of this one? Summation of individual discharges into time difference, delta Ti. Summation of individual discharges into summation of individual discharges into delta Ti. Q1 into delta T1 plus Q2 into delta T2 plus Q3 into delta T3 and so on. Volume of effective rainfall. Again that is equal to area of catchment into effective rainfall depth. So this is what previously we learned, the basics of hydrograph, especially direct runoff hydrograph. Now, very important theoretical questions we are having more. Factors affecting hydrograph. Factors affecting hydrograph. So hydrograph, simply I am writing means flood. Remember, wherever you are having the word hydrograph, simply if I am writing factors affecting hydrograph, that is a flood hydrograph, storm hydrograph. Factors affecting hydrograph I am writing. The factors affecting hydrograph differentiated into two categories. Catchment characteristics. The properties or characteristics of the catchment at which rainfall occurs. Characteristics of the catchment at which rainfall occurs. Catchment characteristics. And also storm characteristics. What is a storm? Storm is a rainfall only now. Storm characteristics. Catchment characteristics. Two. So again, catchment characteristics we can classify. We can write down catchment characteristics. Area of catchment. Area of catchment. Shape of the catchment. Slope of the catchment. Drainage density. Drainage density. These are the characteristics of catchment. These are the characteristics of the catchment which will affect the hydrograph. Catchment characteristics, area, shape, slope and drainage density. Those comes under catchment characteristics. What about storm characteristics? Do you know anything about storm characteristics? Tell me. Nothing but duration of rainfall, direction of rainfall, intensity of rainfall. These are the storm characteristics. So factors affecting hydrograph, the properties of catchment and properties of storm. Which is influencing what? For this, first of all, you need to know flood hydrograph. We have drawn also already previously. But for your easy remembrance, again I am plotting flood hydrograph. This is the flood now. Flood hydrograph. Discharge on y-axis, time on x-axis. Here to here we call it as a raising limb. Do you remember I explained clearly what is raising limb, what is recession limb? Clearly I have explained in the previous session. And this is A to B will consider as a raising limb. B to C we take it as crest segment. B to C will consider as crest segment. B to D will take. C here will show because C is said to be point of peak discharge. A to B raising limb. C is a point of peak discharge. B to D crest segment. D to E recession limb. Do you remember everything I explained in the previous session? Recession limb. Recession limb. Now, so very important point I am writing here. Raising limb and crest segment. Raising limb and crest segment. Affected by, tell me, raising limb and crest segment influenced by. Very important point I am saying. Listen carefully. Raising limb and crest segment are influenced by, affected by what characteristics? Both. Both. Storm as well as catchment characteristics. By both storm as well as catchment characteristics. Both will influence. Storm as well as catchment, both will influence rising limb as well as crest segment. What about recession limb? What about recession limb? Do you have any information about it? Do you know anything regarding recession limb? Tell me. Recession limb. Recession limb is influenced by only catchment characteristics. Because at a recession limb, storm is ended up. Whenever recession limb is started, then before that itself, starting of recession limb, before that itself, storm is ended up. So recession limb is influenced only by catchment characters. Catchment characters. So now we'll check about catchment characteristics influencing hydrograph. Now we will discuss about catchment characteristics that influence hydrograph. So first we will consider with respect to shape of catchment. Shape of catchment. We have two shapes of the catchment. One is a fan shaped catchment. Fan shaped. Do you know fan shape? So this is the fan shaped catchment. Another one is a fern shaped catchment, which looks like this. Which looks like this. The branches are nearly attached. Branches are nearly closely attached with one another in fan shaped. But in fern shaped, farther at a different location. Several branches are there. At a different location, several branches are there. So this is a fan shaped catchment. Closely packed. All branches are nearly located with one another. Fern shaped, very long. Branches are at different locations. Which is having more peak discharge? Tell me. Fan shaped catchment is carrying highest peak, more peak discharge. Fern shaped catchment is carrying lesser peak and shows some fluctuations also, like this. It may show. The fan shaped is carrying higher peak, big. So peak discharge is high. Peak discharge is high for fan shaped catchment when compared with the fern shaped catchment. So fan shaped catchment is very much beneficial for hydrograph. When you consider the area of catchment, when you consider about area of catchment, what about area of catchment? So larger catchments and shorter catchments. So first condition will, when you consider for small catchments, what is going on? Overland flow is greater than channel flow, because channel precipitation is occurring very small. Na? Channel precipitation, channel is small in size, very small area. So direct precipitation falling down into the channel is less. Overland flow, immediately water is flowing into the catchment. So overland flow is greater than channel flow. For larger catchments, huge area open to atmosphere, precipitation is falling down. So what happened? For larger catchments, overland flow is less. Overland flow is less because it takes a long time to reach. But the direct fall down of precipitation, channel flow, that is high. Channel flow is greater than overland flow. Or you can write down, overland flow is greater than, overland flow is less than channel flow. So we can say catchment with vegetation will carry less discharge. Catchment with plant material, vegetation, less discharge. Catchment with no vegetation will get more discharge. Catchment with no vegetation or less vegetation. Either you may consider no vegetation or less vegetation, that will carry high discharge. So availability of vegetation reduces discharge because transpiration and evapotranspiration losses will take place and obstruction will take place. But here there is no obstruction with no vegetation, less vegetation, no obstruction, so that high discharge will occur. Third factor, slope of catchment. So catchment have been differentiated into steeply sloping surfaces, catchment depending upon steeply sloping surfaces and normal surfaces. Steeply sloping surfaces. So steeply sloping catchment. Tell me, what happened to steeply sloping catchment? More peak discharge, no? Slope is very steeply sloping, so that it will get a high peak discharge. Peak is at very high. Peak is at very high. Flat catchments, normal slope, or will consider as they get less, na? Peak discharge is less, flat catchments is there, so that peak discharge is said to be, that is also flat, like this. So less peak discharge. Flat catchments will carry less peak discharge. So who is carrying more peak discharge? Steeply sloping surfaces. Catchment with a steeply sloping surface will carry high peak discharge when compared with catchment with a flat, less peak discharge. We are having another factor, drainage density. Very important theoretical question you are having. Drainage density. Anyone guess what is drainage density? Anyone guess what is drainage density? It is the ratio of, remember carefully, drainage density is the ratio of total length of the channel, ratio of total length of the channel, with whom we can take, with catchment area, basin area. Catchment area is considered. So what we can take, DD. DD is a drainage density. Short form we will consider DD. DD is a drainage density. Tell me, DD is equal to L by A, will take out now. Length of the catchment by catchment area, L by A, drainage density. Same model, we are having one more factor, what we call it as a form factor. Form factor we are having. Same model, one more factor, same model we are having, form factor. Again it is the ratio of, form factor is the ratio of, tell me, do you know, any guess? So what is form factor, tell me, any guess related to it? It is the ratio of basin area to the square of basin length. Basin length square. Form factor is the ratio of basin area to length square. We'll take A by L square. A by L square. Form factor. Form factor A by L square. Last one, stream density. Stream density. What is stream density? Stream density SD. We can write down stream density as SD. Again, it is the ratio of number of streams available in the catchment, number of streams available in basin to the area of basin, to the area of basin. So stream density ratio of number of streams to area of basin, N by A. So this slide is very, very important for your theoretical questions in AEAAA. Remember carefully, drainage density is length by area, form factor is area by length square, stream density is N by A, number of streams by area of basin. So very important for your AEAAA exam. Okay, we'll move on now. So now we are entering into the concept of unit hydrograph. Now we are entering into the concept of unit hydrograph. What is a unit hydrograph? If you are going to plot hydrographs for a catchment, for every rainfall, one hydrograph, one flood hydrograph, one direct runoff hydrograph. For each rainfall, for one catchment, every time you need to plot one flood hydrograph, one direct runoff hydrograph. But a scientist named as Sherman, now he came with a proposal. Instead of plotting same for the same catchment, for the same area, for the same slope, for the same properties of catchment, instead of plotting several number of hydrographs, catchment area same na, catchment slope same na, catchment shape same, all properties of catchment are same. For every storm we are plotting one new hydrograph. Instead of that, only storm properties are varying. We will make storm characteristics also constant. Produce one hydrograph for one catchment. That concept proposed by the scientist Sherman. Sherman is the scientist who proposed the concept of unit hydrograph. Then what is the concept of unit hydrograph? The direct runoff hydrograph, the direct runoff hydrograph for a storm of unit depth. What is unit depth? For a storm of unit depth, that is 1 centimeter depth of effective rainfall. 1 centimeter depth of effective rainfall. So the direct runoff hydrograph for a storm of unit depth, that is 1 centimeter depth of effective rainfall, occurred uniformly over a catchment. Occurred uniformly over a catchment, which is applicable linearly, for future storms, which is applicable linearly for future storms, is called as unit hydrograph. Unit hydrograph. This is the definition for unit hydrograph. Direct runoff hydrograph storm of 1 centimeter depth. So I will make the concept of unit hydrograph very simplified to you. When you consider volume of effective rainfall entered into catchment, this is taken as area of DRH, which is equal to area of catchment into ERF depth. The area of catchment will modify from storm to storm. Rainfall to rainfall, area of catchment is modifying. You understand my point? Today one rainfall occurred in the catchment A. After 1 week, same catchment A, another second rainfall occurred. After 10 days, same catchment A, another rainfall occurred. Will catchment area changes? No. Catchment area is kept constant. Catchment area is constant. Then why ordinates of hydrograph changing? Why ordinates, discharge ordinates of hydrograph changing? So we will consider discharge ordinates of hydrograph changing because of change in effective rainfall depth. Today, after 1 week, after 10 days, after 15 days, after 2 months, after 6 months, area of catchment is constant. What is changing? Why direct runoff hydrograph area is changing? Because effective rainfall depth is modifying. So now what the Sherman will do? Sherman has modified effective rainfall depth value considered as 1 centimeter. Area of direct runoff hydrograph is constant for any rainfall with 1 centimeter. For any rainfall with 1 centimeter, area of DRH is constant. So when area is constant, volume of ERF is constant. So for every rainfall, area of catchment is constant. Then Sherman made effective rainfall depth as constant 1 centimeter. So that area of DRH, which represents volume of effective rainfall, that is also considered to be constant. So area of DRH you may take, depending upon the shape, you may take discharge into time. This is also said to be constant. So for this, Sherman has provided 2 assumptions. Sherman has provided 2 assumptions. Unit hydrograph theory provided with 2 assumptions. One is time invariance. You can apply the unit hydrograph for any future storm. You can apply the concept of unit hydrograph for any future storm irrespective of time. But very important, it should occur in the same catchment. It should occur in the same catchment for the same time. You understand? It should occur in the same catchment for the same time. Time invariance. You are making time of occurrence of rainfall D hour unit hydrograph. What is the D hour unit hydrograph? D represents duration of rainfall. Duration of rainfall. So rainfall occurred for 1 hour, 1 hour unit hydrograph, and for a depth of 1 centimeter. So 1 discharge is obtaining, 1 peak discharge is obtaining. Same 1 hour rainfall occurred in the same catchment for any time. You can apply this unit hydrograph. You understand? Same 1 hour unit hydrograph occurred in the same catchment for any time. You can apply this 1 hour unit hydrograph. You can get discharge values. Again, you have plotted a 2 hour rainfall, 2 hour unit hydrograph. What is 2 hour? 2 hour rainfall occurred. 2 hour rainfall occurred in future. Whenever 2 hour rainfall occurred, you use this 2 hour unit hydrograph. You have plotted 6 hour UH. 6 hour UH is 6-hour rainfall. In future, any 6-hour rainfall you can apply. That is called time invariance. Second one, linear response. Linear response. The values of unit hydrograph linearly applied. Values of unit hydrograph linearly applied to get future direct runoff values. For example, we have plotted 2-hour unit hydrograph. Means what is meant by 2-hour unit hydrograph? Rainfall of 2 hours. Rainfall occurred for 2 hours. Rainfall of 2 hours, we have plotted a 2-hour unit hydrograph. And what is effective rainfall? You have mentioned UH. UH means unit hydrograph. So in such a case, effective rainfall is always 1 centimeter, no change. Now you got from that 2-hour unit hydrograph, you got peak discharge value as, for example, take peak discharge value, you obtained 8 meter cube per second. After 20 days, in the same catchment, remember, in the same catchment, after 20 days, same 2-hour rainfall, no change. 2-hour rainfall occurred, but depth of effective rainfall is produced 3 centimeter. 2-hour rainfall occurred, same time, into the same catchment area, changing is depth 1 centimeter to 3 centimeters. What is peak discharge? You can write. For 1 centimeter depth, 8 meter cube per second. What is peak discharge for 3 centimeter depth? Catchment area same, duration of occurrence of rainfall same, losses same, everything same. Only variation 1 centimeter to 3 centimeter. You can write it down now. 3 into 8. So 3 times linearly increasing. 3 times linearly increasing. 24 meter cube per second. 24 meter cube per second. After 1 year, again another 2-hour rainfall occurred. After 1 year, in the same catchment, again another 2-hour rainfall occurred. Produced 4 centimeter effective rainfall. Instead of 1 centimeter, it resulted 4 centimeter. Same catchment area, same duration of rainfall, 2-hour duration of rainfall, into the same catchment slope, same shape, same, everything same, not modified. 1 centimeter resulted 8 meter cube per second. 4 centimeter will result. All properties constant. Only depth changes. 1 centimeter results 8, 4 centimeter results. 4 into 8, 32 meter cube per second. Shall we write it down? 32 meter cube per second, we'll write it down. So linearly increasing now. Linear increase of discharge. We will write it down. Linear increase of discharge with effective rainfall depth. With effective rainfall depth and discharge linearly increases. That is called linear response. You can apply at any point of time for the same duration. D-hour rainfall at any time. It may occur today, day after tomorrow, after 1 year, after 2 years, after 30 years. For the same D-hour rainfall, you can apply unit hydrograph. Consider linear increase in discharge. So these are the 2 assumptions made by Sherman to provide unit hydrograph. Time invariance, linear response. Very important assumptions. On this unit hydrograph, it is applicable for a catchment with an area of applicable up to catchment area of 5,000 square kilometer, not more than that. applicable up to catchment area of 5000 kilometer square, not more than that. Catchment area is more than 5000 kilometer square, unit hydrograph is not at all applicable. Not at all applicable. So how can you construct UH ordinates? Construction of unit hydrograph. Construction of unit hydrograph. How can you construct unit hydrograph? First, plot flood hydrograph. Basic model of hydrograph is there, na? Flood hydrograph. Plot a flood hydrograph for a single storm. For a D-hour storm. For a D-hour storm. Storm means rainfall. Plot, basically basic model. First we have plotted discharge versus time flood hydrograph. Then estimate base flow. Estimate base flow. Then discharge of direct runoff hydrograph is equal to discharge values of flood hydrograph minus base flow. Discharge of direct runoff hydrograph ordinates is equal to discharge of flood hydrograph ordinates minus base flow. Then volume of effective rainfall. How can you take? You have different discharge values. Na? You have different discharge values. Na? So each discharge value, sum of discharge values, summation of Qi multiplied with delta Ti. Delta T. Summation of Qi multiplied with delta T, you will get the volume of effective rainfall. So each discharge value multiplied with change in time. Sum of here Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 of direct runoff ordinates, sum of direct runoff ordinates into time, difference in time, that is taken as volume of effective rainfall. Now you need effective rainfall depth. If you require effective rainfall depth, how can you calculate? Volume of effective rainfall, volume of effective rainfall by area of catchment. Volume of effective rainfall by area of catchment. You will get now. Effective rainfall depth is obtained by considering volume of effective rainfall by area of catchment. Now, the final ordinate we require, discharge ordinate for your discharge ordinate, Y ordinate for our unit hydrograph. Discharge ordinate for our unit hydrograph. How can you get discharge ordinate for unit hydrograph? Tell me. Discharge ordinate of DRH is for the depth of some effective rainfall. Discharge ordinate of DRH for a depth of effective rainfall depth of some centimeter. Now you need discharge ordinate of UH for what depth? UH is for what depth? For 1 centimeter depth. For ERF depth of some value, discharge is QDRH. For 1 centimeter depth, what is QUH? You understand the point? For X centimeters, discharge is QDRH. For 1 centimeter, what is discharge? Just cross multiplication. Just you do cross multiplication. QUH is equal to QDRH into 1 centimeter divided by effective rainfall depth in centimeter of the present storm. Effective rainfall depth of present storm we are taking, which is resulting this QDRH. Here, effective rainfall depth of the storm what you are analyzing, which is resulting this QDRH. So in simple we can write it down like this, na? QUH is equal to QDRH by effective rainfall depth. QUH is equal to QDRH by effective rainfall depth. That is unit hydrograph discharge values. So by using any kind of flood hydrograph step by step, first you are plotting flood hydrograph ordinates, discharge versus time, discharge on y-axis, time on x-axis. Then after plotting you have written Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Then estimated the base flow. From that base flow you subtracted base flow. To get a direct runoff hydrograph ordinates. QD1, QD2, QD3, QD4 for a direct runoff hydrograph. Then volume of effective rainfall. Sum of direct runoff ordinates into difference in time, delta T. Obtained volume by area of catchment you are taking, effective rainfall depth. Then unit hydrograph discharge is equal to, simple, one formula. QUH is equal to QDRH by effective rainfall depth. So I will simplify this for you. Easily I will simplify for you. Formula required for unit hydrograph. Formula required for UH. So you may convert UH to DRH or DRH to UH. Here you may convert UH to DRH or DRH to UH. So first you are converting now UH to FH. UH to FH conversion. So first formula QDRH, direct runoff hydrograph discharge, is equal to QUH plus base flow. Direct runoff hydrograph discharge is equal to QUH into effective rainfall depth. QUH into effective rainfall depth. QFH. How you will get QFH? QFH is equal to QDRH base base flow. Just opposite to the previous construction of FH. Na? Opposite, previously we have constructed FH to UH. Now you are solving UH to FH. Direct runoff hydrograph discharge is equal to unit hydrograph discharge into effective rainfall depth. Flood hydrograph discharge is equal to direct runoff hydrograph plus base flow. How you will get effective rainfall depth? Very important, from infiltration data. From infiltration data you will get effective rainfall depth is equal to precipitation minus phi into T. Effective rainfall. Precipitation minus phi into T, that is considered effective rainfall depth. Or you may take previous formula also. Volume of effective rainfall by area of catchment. You may use this formula, or you may consider losses. Precipitation minus phi into T, you will get effective rainfall depth. Using this three formula, you can solve any question from unit hydrograph. You may do unit hydrograph to flood, flood to unit. Unit hydrograph to direct runoff to unit hydrograph. Simple thing you need to remember here. In this formulas, discharge is taken in meter cube per second. Effective rainfall depth must be taken in centimeter. don't go for meter calculation. Effective rainfall depth must be taken in centimeter. If by chance shapes are provided, triangular unit hydrograph, we can write same now, half into time base into peak of unit hydrograph, Q peak discharge of unit hydrograph is equal to area of catchment into depth. What is depth? Only the change, same formula as DRH, you can take only one change. Depth is 1 centimeter, but don't take here centimeter. 10 power minus 2, 1 centimeter, 10 power minus 2 meter. Previously what you are taking? Half into TB into QPK is equal to area into depth. Instead of area into depth, you are taking area of catchment into 10 power minus 2. Same you can apply for trapezoidal unit hydrograph. Same you can apply for trapezoidal unit hydrograph. What is the trapezoidal formula? A plus B by 2 into peak discharge, peak of unit hydrograph, peak discharge, which is equal to same area of catchment. What is changing then? Direct runoff hydrograph formula, unit hydrograph formula, what is changing? Instead of ERF depth, you are taking 10 power minus 2. 10 power minus 2 is equal to 1 centimeter. That is in meter, you are taking 1 centimeter. Non-uniform shape. Non-uniform shape, we have given already. Sum of discharge values into delta T. Non-uniform shape we have given now. Sum of discharge values Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 and so on into delta T. Again same you can write down. Area of catchment into 10 power minus 2. So in your exam what they will ask? They will ask either peak discharge of direct runoff, peak discharge of unit hydrograph or area of catchment. They don't give you runoff depth. Why? Why they don't provide you runoff depth? How can you solve if runoff depth is not provided? In the data, they will not provide you runoff depth or effective rainfall depth because that runoff or effective rainfall depth is equal to 1 centimeter 10 power minus 2. That is what we have taken. Everywhere that is what we have taken. 1 centimeter or 10 power minus 2. Clear? This is the theory information related to unit hydrograph. The formulas I have not given much theory, not required because numerical questions only coming. So the formulas from UH to FH, FH to UH, opposite, vice versa. UH to DRH, DRH to UH, vice versa. And this, out of the three, they will provide you time base, peak discharge, and ask to determine area of catchment. Or they will provide area of catchment, time base, ask to estimate peak discharge. So these formulas. This is more than enough for your AE A-level exam. In the next session, we'll solve the numerical questions related to hydrograph. Okay? So, take plus subscription in Unacademy. Follow me on Unacademy. Search by type NVLK Prakash or KP Civil. You will get my profile. Click on my profile. Follow my link on the profile. Okay? And take plus subscription as early as possible because just now recently I started a new batch of environmental engineering 29th September onwards. Best price in the market, Unacademy is giving you live interactive classes for total full length course GATE and ESE. 6 months 18,000, 1 year 22,500. Remember, price hike is going to happen within a short time. So don't pay more, pay 18,000 or 22,500, get a plus subscription as early as possible. New batch is already launched just 4-5 days before. So you can join with the new batch. You will get a free study material. When you will get free study material? After using my code KP Civil or Engineering Guru. Without using my code, I am not providing any free study material. Remember, free study material and free online test series you will get after using my code and after taking plus subscription. So Unacademy is carrying unlimited live interactive classes, unlimited test series. Along with that, I will provide one more test series to you. Okay? Join Unacademy to crack GATE and DSE to fulfill your dream of. Join Unacademy. Crack GATE and DSE. With top ranks, fulfill your dream of GATE, top rank. Join Unacademy Plus course. Let's crack it. Thank you.